Happy Monday, everybody. Donnie Baker here with you, LPR Sound Foundation. Hopefully your weekend was awesome. It was a weekend, so there's that. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, this is August. Today is August 5th, 2024. We are talking about podcasting. This whole month is going to be about you starting a podcast, whether you're as a podcaster or whether you're setting up your studio to record other people's podcasts for fun and profit, if you know what I'm saying. So I want to talk to y'all about both of those things. You know what I mean? All month long, we're going to be talking about, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into it in the next few weeks. But today, I just want to kind of give you a generalization of podcasting. And podcasting can be simply audio. I consider this a podcast. You see, I just threw the little logo on the screen there. It says podcast on it. I do consider this a podcast because people come to, podcast, I don't know, you might come here to learn something. You might come here to get entertained. You might come here to just to see what's up. If I've got an interesting, title, you might go, I might want to see about that. Click, let me go see it. At the same time, I mean, podcasting can be lucrative. I do know some podcasters. They have brand deals. They have, they got a lot of subscribers, so they might be monetized on YouTube, or they make their living doing podcasts. These are people who have their podcast and they're popular. We actually record a couple of podcasts. We do a couple of regular podcasts here at the studio. This studio that I'm in today, and you guys have seen me in here before. This is, there's a production system there, but it also doubles as a podcast recording system. I do have I'm looking at it because the camera's on that side of it, but this whole desk is a podcast desk. Now, this desk is on wheels because you guys have seen me in other rooms. You've seen me in the Studio B. You've seen me in Studio A. You've actually seen me in the live room. If you're following me for a long time, you may have seen me in the live room. I mean, I can move this desk around wherever I need it to give me whatever background I like or whatever background I want. This is not a green screen. I can actually go back there and touch things and turn things on. So there's that. I mean, dude, but green screens work great. And we're going to dive into all of this stuff in the next few weeks. I just kind of wanted to reach out and give you some ideas of what we're talking about this month. I mean, I think podcasting gets overlooked as a alternate income stream if your studio is primarily for making music, or your studio is primarily for post-production. However you're making your money in your studio, it could even be a home studio. There is apps and software that allows you to record remotely other people's audio and other people's cameras from across the world. I recently did a podcast with a person in Nashville. I'm here, they're in Nashville, and it looked like they were in the room with me. I did another one recently, earlier this year. The artist that I was the producer and artist that I was interviewing was in New York, but it looked like they were in the room with me. So there are apps and software that allow that to happen, and it's great, man. The audio quality, the internet. Come on, man. If you guys are old enough to remember the internet from the olden days. In the 1900s, the internet from the 1900s, you might have had little glitches and, choppy video and stuff. But dude, honestly, I record this in 4K video. Of course, here on YouTube, it's capped at, no, I think it does. I think mine only goes to 1080 because that's what I have. And 1080 still looks great. It's HD, it looks great. My camera's a 4K camera, and I do record in 4K. And but once mine gets up to YouTube, it's 1080. I think YouTube you can do 4K though. I'll look into it. We'll check that out. This isn't about starting a YouTube channel. This isn't about starting that kind of stuff or where you promote your podcast or your video podcast or whatever. This is more about recording it, editing it, producing it, making it happen. And then, we'll touch on where you can put it for, to broadcast it to the world. Think of it as like a little radio show or something. I mean, dude, if you've got an idea or you've got some experience or you've got some knowledge that you think might be helpful or informative or entertaining to an audience, even if the audience is two people, you know, your cousin and your mom and your cousin, you know, but put it out there, man. It ain't gonna hurt you. But, you know, so what if there's something that you know of that someone else has been struggling with, and they've done Google searches and they just can't find the exact idea, the exact answer that they're looking for. But here you come with your podcast, and you throw it out there on all the podcast services, and you did some video and you put it out there on YouTube, and all of a sudden now somebody does a search and they're like, oh my God, you have answered the question I've been having for months and months and months, and you answered it for me because you lived it. You are the same, you know, you did the same thing I did, and you've done the same thing, and now you've done it, and you showed me how to do it, and thank you so much. You know, if you can help one person, if you can entertain one person, if you can inform one person of something that you have, you know, that's winning, man. That's success. You know what I mean? For me, that's success. I do this. You guys know, I mean, Learn Pro Recording, LPR Sound Foundation. I do this so that I can help. I do this so that I can inform, and hopefully I'm a little entertaining. Hopefully you guys don't think I suck too bad, you know. But look, I'm just a you know, a simple person from a simple small town where nobody ever heard of, and here I come, you know, and I'm in your face every week. I'm in your inbox every week. I'm giving you free stuff, and who knows, man? Maybe something I'm telling you or something I'm talking about might help you out. You know, like such as how to produce and record any podcast for fun and profit. You know, what if now you're like, oh, I got 2 microphones. I got a recording device. I can record somebody's podcast and charge them $20. Bro, that's lunch. You know what I mean? Well, it depends on where you live. Depends on where you eat. But no, that could be lunch. You know, you buy a pack of bologna and a loaf of bread, man, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, look, this is what it's about, man. I'm also going to give you this publication. It's called How to Produce and Record Any Podcast. In this publication, I'll share it with you. In this publication, it's just got a plethora. I think there's 17 pages of stuff, and it talks about what do you talk about, how do you record. But then it gets down in here and it gives you some ideas about free audio recording software you can use. And there's some that's free and some that's not free, but it also gives you a list of equipment that you might need, that you might want to start with. Man, if you like I said, if you have Focusrite 2i2 and a microphone. It could be a crappy microphone. It could be a USB microphone. You might not even need, you don't even have to have an audio interface. What if you got just a USB microphone and the camera on your laptop? You are good to go, my friend. Start that podcast. Start telling people about you. Start telling people about your life. Tell people about the experiences that you've had. Man, in this publication, we talk about, there was this one client that I had that, bro, he recorded his podcast on his iPhone while he was in traffic on the 405 here in Los Angeles with the windows down on his Prius because the air conditioner didn't work. You know, he's got his window down. He's just in the traffic every day. He's in traffic just recording his podcast. And his podcasts were quick. They were quick and easy. I think they were like under 10 minutes. They were between 5 and 10 minutes long. But he was a motivational guy, man. He was like motivating people and using, you know, he's a little bit meta. You know what I mean? And he's using like meditation and stuff to get people to calm down, basically calm down when you're in traffic. Something you could listen to if you're stuck in traffic to you know, subdue the road rage, if you will, you know? But no, this guy, man, his podcast turned into a thing, and he wrote a book, and now he goes on tours, speaking tours. I mean, this guy blew up, and he's a great dude. But man, I was editing his podcast, and the sound quality was terrible. So on some of them, I think some of them it might have been in the winter, so he had the window up, so I didn't have the traffic noise, you know. But to keep everything consistent, what I did is I added in traffic noise, so his podcast was consistent every time. His podcast went out every day, and it was like you got on his list and he sent you his podcast. It was strictly audio, no video on it, but it would go out. And then he started recording some of these in the studio. So even the ones that he recorded in the studio, we would add the traffic noise because that was kind of his signature vibe, man. He's in traffic with his iPhone, So we made his, even though we're using a fancy microphone here in the studio, we kind of made it sound like he was in his Prius on the 405 freeway. So look, it's not about quality. It's not about, of course, you got the big names in podcasting that are out there, and they got their, $1 million studios, and they're, they got a producer, Joe Rogan, and he's got a producer, he got video, got cameras everywhere, okay, that's cool. But what if you're just starting out, man? You don't have that. You got a USB microphone and a laptop. Go, do it. There you go. So, hey, listen, man, I'm not trying to bore you too much. I do want to give you this for free. The Getting Started Guide is what I'm calling it. Go to learnprorecording.com/podcast. And then all this month, we're going to talk about various parts of how we do podcasts and how things get put together and how things get recorded and how things get edited. We're gonna go into all that starting next week. So get ready for that. Make sure you bookmark this. Make sure you subscribe, man. If you guys are watching me here on YouTube, click subscribe so you get the stuff and you get notified when these videos come out. These videos come out every Monday at 10 a.m. If you got to know the truth, that's the truth. Every Monday 10 a.m. boom, there's a video. You know what I mean? But get subscribed and get the Getting Started Guide. Get the Getting Started Guide. That's cool. Didn't mess that one up too much. Y'all know. Well, first of all, let me finish this. Go to learnprorecording.com/podcast. Get that free PDF. Y'all got to know, man, I do these podcasts and I do these video podcasts for YouTube. I try not to edit. The only time I have to edit is if the boss lady says, yo, you can't say that, man. You can't say that. You got to cut that out. So that's pretty, or if I really screw up, then I'll do an edit. But I try not to edit, man. I try to do these raw. I try to do them live. Look, y'all getting me. You know what I mean? And this is, I think that's my signature. One of my signature things is that y'all get me, and I'm not the smartest person. I'm definitely not the prettiest person, but you know what? I got some knowledge and experience. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been in the audio game. I'm an audio engineer. I own a studio now, and we've owned the studio for 20 years. This is our 20th year here at ES Audio Recording Studios in Los Angeles, California. And, we do record podcasts. You know what else we do, man? Which we're going to touch on this month as well. Streaming, live streaming. I've got one client, and it is a podcast. We do record it, but at the same time, they stream it. It's a duo. There's two guys. One's a life coach, and the other one is a spiritual coach. And what they do is they go live. I think they're live on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. And YouTube. I think they're live on YouTube, but they answer questions live while people are watching. They're popular. I mean, we've had some of these live streams, and there's hundreds of people on there, all asking questions. So when that happens, I have to, not only record it, but I'm also producing. I'm throwing I got to throw the questions up on the screen so they can see it. And there's a lot of production involved in that, which we're gonna touch on. We're not gonna go too deep into that unless you guys want me to. During the course of the month, if you guys want to talk more about streaming, we'll dive into that. Maybe we'll go 1 week into September and do a streaming episode strictly for streaming, because this system that I have set up, which I'm going to show you in the next few weeks, is set up for streaming as well as podcast recording, such as what I'm doing right now. I'm recording it, but I can live stream, and we do that from this system. I've got a camera switcher. There's literally, I can have up to 8 cameras on this system. And there's literally a switcher, there's a stream deck, there's audio, it just goes on and on. There's lights, man, it's cool. It's a lot of fun. It's creative. So I want you guys to get involved with that. One more time, get this lead magnet, get the Getting Started Guide. It's free, and it's gonna set you guys up with getting started with your podcast. So, let's get out of here, man. I'm gonna keep this one short because it's just an introduction to podcast month. And happy August, happy Monday, and let's do this, man. Let's add this to your arsenal of things that you can do and things that you can have access to and give access to your clients. If you own a commercial studio, even a home studio, and you want to bring family and friends in to do a podcast, man, talk about stuff, make jokes. Dads out there, y'all got jokes. Come on, man. Let's do a podcast about nothing but dad jokes all day. I watch those on YouTube all the time because I'm a dad and it's funny. Come on, man. there's just so much to think about and so much to talk about. If you've got experience or knowledge or entertainment, you want to entertain people, man, seriously, get out here, do a podcast. Love to see what you got. Tag me on stuff, man. Let me see what y'all are doing. You know what I mean? So, podcast month, August. We'll see you guys next week, and we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna dive deep, and we're gonna unpack this stuff. It's gonna be awesome. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for these few minutes. And my name is Donnie Baker. One more time, I'll throw this up there just in case y'all forgot. See, I got the buttons, and when I press the button, the thing happens. We're gonna talk about these things. So my name is Donnie Baker. I am out of here. We will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Look, have a great week. Go forth, make money, do work, do what you love to do. And we're in the business of making music. So let's make our business making music. The business of making music, not the music business, but the business of music. We'll see you guys next week. Donnie B, I'm out.